Welcome to the Wellness Growth Show, where we dive into the strategies, systems, and stories behind building scalable wellness businesses. I'm your host, Scott Schumann, growth partner to wellness and health tech founders who are moving beyond one-to-one delivery and into organizations, employers, and institutions. Each week, I sit down with the people actually doing the work, founders and operators growing mission-driven platforms that create real impact and sustainable revenue. Whether you're pivoting from B2C, landing your first corporate wellness contract, or scaling into institutional partnerships, this show is here to meet you where you are with honest insights, tactical conversations, and zero fluff. Let's get into it. Today we are sitting with Stacy Vandiver, founder of SoulBody Studios and Fitness. Welcome, Stacy. How are you today?
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would love to hear. I always open this up with just hearing people's journeys and their stories behind what inspired you to get into this and the whole wellness industry.
Okay. Well, the story starts from SoulBody Fitness. We started before our bricks and mortar, which is SoulBody Studios. We started on the other side of having programming that sits in the mind body space, designing classes for health clubs, associations, studios around the world. Started with one program, and now we're up to 4 programs sitting in the mind body space. And the reason I say that is because they're classes that are more working your body smarter, not harder. They sit in the bar space, the yoga sculpt space. Even our cardio program is low impact. And then we added a stretch program as well. So if you look at this, these classes allow health clubs that have multiple locations, associations that have multiple locations, be consistent in their programming. The teachers learn the content, the flow, the format, and they're able to teach it with authority and confidence, and they're pretty seamless. So after, about 8 years of that, and very established internationally, we decided to open up our first bricks and mortar. We plugged those programs into the studio space. Those classes, that's Pilates, mat, reformer, and yoga. On top of that, we saw the boutique studio space really blowing up. And if you started looking at all the modalities that are offered out there, you would have to have multiple memberships to service yourself and really expand on your wellness routine. You would have to have a yoga membership, a bar membership, a Pilates membership, and then you could even go into the recovery space and have a recovery membership, a stretch membership. It gets crazy. So those multiple memberships can add up to a lot of money.
Yeah.
What we did is put all those modalities under one roof. And on top of it, it's an intimate setting. It's not a large 15,000, 30,000 square foot space like a gym health club where that intimacy can be lost. It's in a 3,000 square foot space. So now you have that real community feel, that intimate space feeling. Everyone knows each other. The front desk knows you. The teachers know you, and you have one membership. Very affordable.
Okay.
So our first bricks and mortar, Southwest Florida, United States, in the Fort Myers area.
And typically, like, how many people are in this space? Because I know you said it's more intimate. I'm just curious, like, what's your typical
Yeah.
size?
So the classes hold up to 23 people, 23 mats. Our reformer classes are smaller, so you'll have that real nice intimacy and connection, kind of like small group training. And we have 2 sauna rooms and 2 beds that have the PEMF and compression. So all the services together, like I said, the classes are from Pilates to yoga to bar to stretch to low impact cardio. The recovery therapies are all science backed. I feel very strongly about that right now. And there's a lot of stuff coming out in the market in the biohacking world. So our recovery therapies are infrared sauna, red light, salt therapy, PEMF, which is pulse electromagnetic field, and compression.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you mentioned combining fitness classes and recovery therapies. Like, how do you
Yeah.
believe that this is a more unique approach and really, setting you
Yeah.
apart from all the traditional.
Okay. So movement obviously is essential to your health, right? And your well-being. But that's just one component. And how can you expand in that underneath in a studio setting? You can add recovery therapies. So imagine taking a class, a Pilates class, a yoga class, a bar class, and you've just kind of put yourself in a sympathetic nervous state, but a good one, a real good stress state. You can reduce that stress and recover even more by adding that infrared sauna or that PMF afterwards. So it just elevates your wellness routine.
And how much time does someone spend in doing this in this
Yeah.
recovery?
So the sauna sessions are 30 minutes with the red light, and the PMF, you can do a PMF session with what we have, the product that we have, in 8 minutes. It reduces inflammation, gets your blood flowing, and really helps in improve the recovery and resetting of your body after exercise. But you know what? These therapies can be done on your day off, your rest day as well.
Okay,
Come
so you got
in.
that again. Yeah.
Our membership, the top tier membership, it's unlimited everything, right?
Okay.
So it can be kind of like your third space, right? Or maybe if you're working from home, it's your second space. But you come in and maybe your rest day is a day in the sauna, a day on the PMF mat with compression.
Oh, interesting. And I like that you talked about reducing inflammation because I mean
Mhm.
I hear that common with whatever maybe it's foods that you're eating or certain activities that you're doing and you're
Yes.
causing gut health, things like that with inflammation. And so just being able to find something that I don't know if that ties into it, but
Yes.
be able to
It
reduce.
helps. It all helps. I mean, your gut health is your nutrition, right? And I will say that the sauna increases your metabolism. So that just only helps more. But your diet is very, very important, which is something we're also working on as well as bringing in that nutrition element. There's some major pillars to your health and well-being. Movement obviously is one of them. Recovery, what we're doing is one of them, but diet plays an important part of that. Sleep plays an important part of that, and same with stress. So starting to bring all these in under one roof and providing all these services is only going to help the consumer.
Love it, love it. So
Yeah.
tell me like what strategies have you found effective in communicating this like to your clientele about what you're doing and these changes?
Which how to marketing is very, very important. I'll tell you, that is one thing we're learning as a bricks and mortar best practices. You want to immediately connect with anybody that finds you, so that agent is very, very important to keep you connected. But then it's really going to be important that you have that personalization and that we know each member and what they're looking for. Also, emails, what we're working on now is one email that kind of gives you an overview of everything that's going on, um, a little bit of education, a little bit of updates. We really like to do events as much as we can, keeping that community connected, which is very important. But also weekly emails from me just saying, hey, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. A little bit more personalized, not just so much
Okay.
general. This is what's going on in the studio. So,
Oh,
but
nice.
all these
Okay.
touch points are really important. Texting, phone calls, and why I like our model. It is a smaller, intimate space. So you're not dealing with 5,000 members. You're dealing with three to 500 members. That's just
Right.
much easier to manage.
Okay.
Oh.
How do you see the fitness and wellness industry evolving in the next few years, like,
Great
particularly in your
question.
recovery? Yeah.
That's a really good question, and actually a lot of discussion out there in our industry with health clubs, associations, and boutique studios. I can say the big box gyms are definitely hopping on the recovery bandwagon. You're going to see a lot of inclusion of that inside their services. But what I think is really, and then you're seeing a huge influx of boutique studios. I mean, they're popping up everywhere. what I think is very, very important is that connection. So if a health club is going to introduce recovery, if they don't have education and the why behind it, it's going to get lost. Which is again another reason why I love the smaller boutique studios setting and model, because we can provide that education, we can provide those that intimacy that a lot of people are looking for. Education plays an important role. These are the services that we're offering in the recovery space. They've been around for decades, decades, but it's not been really accessible to the consumer. I always say in my talks, one of the most positive things, if we will, out of COVID is that the consumer became very aware of their health and how important it is. And I know you wanted to kind of touch on that word health span in our
Uh-huh.
conversation, but it's kind of like a new word, a buzzword, if you will, but it's a very important word. I'll give a definition of it. Health span is just how long you live healthy. Lifespan is how long you live, period, right? Your health span is how long you live healthy. And my goal is to get our consumer their health span matching their lifespan. And we've got some work to do there. In the United States, it's a big disparity, about 10 years of living unhealthy. Until you die and or the end of your life, and that's really it's a sad concept, but the more we can get to that consumer, the more we can touch them and reach them and educate them. Um, I think there's, some positivity to it. And we're seeing it ourselves. We're able to, the Gen Z and millennials are so aware of their health. And we now have the baby boomers that are joining our studio that are absolutely aware and want to learn more and want to know more.
They're hungry for it.
Yeah.
I love
And
it.
it's
That's
Gen
great.
X too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, you talked a little bit about like increasing those years of healthy living, but it's like even in your not to say that it's your last years you're going to die or whatever the last 10 years are, right? But it's like, well, even when you're younger and trying to take care of yourself better now so that in the
Yeah.
future it's not so rough and you're not pill popping or whatever because you need this for this and this for that.
Yep.
Getting
Yep.
do
It's
you
true.
find is your business model pretty mixed when it comes to like different age brackets? I mean, is it more of any certain kind? Because I know you talked about they're becoming more aware and they want to know.
Yes, yes. I mean, I'll tell you what we're seeing in our studios with the millennials and the Gen Z. It's amazing how much they are very aware of exercise and the importance it plays. It's been fantastic. We're in the backyard of a university, and we have a student rate, and it's so great to see how students are aware of their health and even value the recovery aspect of it. They're buying the all access student rate. And it's just been amazing to see. It's encouraging to see for the next generation below them, right? So that they can play off of
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it really is. It really is. You'll see the millennials, these young workers that are valuing and using their paycheck for the all access membership, and they value that. And then of course we have very active baby boomers and Gen X that
Okay.
have, they value their health and they want to stay there. The classes that we teach, I think I said it earlier, our philosophy is moving smarter, not harder. We don't believe that you need to beat up your body. I think the average consumer can get really injured when they're pushed too hard. I think there's a place for that, a real hard workout. Strength training is a big buzzword right now, but you can build
Okay.
strength through body weight. You can build strength through different kind of modalities that don't crush your body. I think the average consumer doesn't need this high impact movement, but they do need cardiovascular training. So you're going to find that in our classes, but more in the low impact side.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's good. Well, and even if it's like you did have some injuries, last thing you want to do is stir that up again, and you
Yeah.
and people might have it might be more challenging to exercise, or maybe they have
Yes.
some injuries, and so trying to
Yes.
find a place where they're not requiring it to be so high
Yeah,
impact,
yeah,
easier on your
it's a
body.
tricky balance.
Good.
It's a tricky balance. And that's another thing we've, definitely teach our teachers to coach is modifications, because you are going to get that consumer that's maybe just starting, whether they're young or, active aging, that they're just starting or they're getting back into it. They've been off, the wagon for a year or
Right.
so. They're like, want to start again.
Yeah.
Those modifications and those options are really, really important. So we definitely coach that as well in our classes.
Okay. Okay. So tell me, what advice would you give to someone who might be struggling in their own health and wellness business? What would you like to share?
Ah, that's a good question. I really encourage them to take it's that first step. And first step is actually your mindset. So if you're already saying to yourself, God, I need to get back into it, one of the best ways I think is putting your money where your mouth is. If you put money down, you're like, oh my God, I signed up. Now I need to show up. So
Mhm.
find a place that is going to be somewhat in line with what you're looking for. Try different places. We have our first class free just to get them in the studio, to get the feel for the
Okay.
studio. Not everything is for everyone. And I don't think I'm going to be for every single body, but try to get, into a space that you feel comfortable with, relates to you, and then commit to it with your wallet,
Yeah.
because that's definitely going to help you show up and commit. And find that coach, go to the teacher, go
Yeah.
to the owner, and say, these are my goals. Sit down with someone, um, and spend that time, again, in that intimate setting of a studio, a boutique studio. You're going to
Yeah.
get it a lot more than you do health club. And in a health club, maybe you're going to find that teacher that's going to help inspire you. And I know we have a lot of teachers around the world that teach. SoulBody Fitness, one of our taglines is inspiring through movement. Teachers, group fitness teachers are that boots on the ground that do um, inspire members to come.
Mm.
One thing gyms need to recognize is how important their instructors are. They play a very, very significant role in their retention of members.
So, thank you. Yeah. And
Mhm.
you had said something about, just like find a place, like pull out your wallet, pay for it, commit to it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
there's something that I hear too is that it's when people are paying for these memberships and they're going to them, they're likely, like, if you're a person looking for a place to go and connect and even network, like
mhm,
to me that's a great place to network, because you're going to a place where people care about their bodies and they care what they're doing,
yes,
and they're willing to invest in their body in that way, right? So,
yes,
and then you're that's an easy, like, I care, they care, and then you're connecting, and it's a great way to, I mean, I
yes,
would
and it's that
imagine your
community.
places like that. Yeah, so
It's
you have
that
that
community.
community. It's more intimate. You've got, like, you're all just there trying to support each other and lift each other up. So
Yes,
kudos.
that's so true.
Amazing.
That's so true.
Okay. Love it. Love it. Love it. So tell the audience how they can reach you.
Okay, well, you can reach me via email, svandiver@soulbodystudios.com. If you're looking to teach, you're looking for certifications that will get you helping your clients, you can go to soulbody.fitness. If you're looking for studios, we do offer on-demand classes. So if you're not in Southwest Florida, in the Fort Myers area, you can take our classes online. So SoulBody on demand, SoulBody Fitness on demand. If you're traveling or if you are in the Southwest Florida area, SoulBodyStudios.com, of course. And I encourage you to come visit us in person. We'd love to meet you.
Great. Thank you so much, Stacey. I appreciate this.
Yeah, absolutely.